Hello everyone. Today's topic is the continuation of epilepsy. Okay, so last class we have seen with introduction, types, and how you will analyze the drugs for epilepsy, and today is the continuation. So first is the classification of anti-epileptic drugs. So you can classify the anti-epileptic drugs as barbiturates, deoxybarbiturate, hydantoin, immunostilbene, succinamide, aliphatic carboxylic acid, benzodiazepines, phenyltriazines, cyclic GABA, pentin analog, and newer drugs. Okay, so barbiturate example is you can have phenobarbital, deoxybarbiturate you can have primidone, hydantoin you can have phenytoin and fosphenytoin, immunostilbenes, carbamazepine, oxcarbazepine, succinamide, ethosuximide, aliphatic carboxylic acid you can have valproic acid and divaprox, and benzodiazepines you can have clonazepam, diazepam, lorazepam and clobazam, phenyltriazine, lamotrigine, cyclic GABA pentin analogs. You can have pregabalin, newer drugs, topiramate, zonisamide, levetiracetamide, vigabatrin, tiagamine and lacosamide. Okay, so this is the classification of anti-epileptic drugs. So coming to the first initial drug, phenobarbital. So phenobarbital was the first efficacious anti-epileptics. So enhancement of GABA A receptor mediated synaptic inhibition appears to be most important mechanism. Okay. So however, phenobarbital has specific anticonvulsant activity which is not entirely dependent on CNS depression alone. So quantitative differences in the different phases of actions. So GABA facilitatory, GABA mimetic, anti-glutamate and calcium entry reduction. So have noted for phenobarbital when compared to hypnotic barbiturate. So phenobarbital will be having this much actions. So the higher anticonvulsant hypnotic ratio of phenobarbital may be due to its minimal action on calcium channels and glutamate release when compared to hypnotic barbiturates. So with continued use of phenobarbital, sedation will go off, that is vans off, but anticonvulsant will not go. So it has a wide spectrum of anticonvulsant property. So this will raises the seizure threshold, that is the mark for the seizures, as well as the limiter of spread, and suppresses the kindled seizures, that is induced seizures. So the major drawback of phenobarbital as an anti-epileptic drugs is its main sedation action. So long-term administration may produce additional side effects like behavioral abnormality. So the patient's behavior may change, diminution of the intelligence. So his normal intelligence will reduce, impairment of learning and memory, hyperactivity in children, mental confusion in older patients. So rashes, megaloblastic anemia and osteomalacia occur in some patients on the prolonged use. So uses, phenobarbital is one of the cheapest and least toxic anti-epileptic drug. So it has a broad spectrum of efficacy in the generalized tonic-clonic, simple partial and complex partial seizures. So however, it has become less popular than carbamazepine, phenytoin or valproate because of its dulling and behavioral side effects. Okay, so nowadays it is a reduced use only. So status epilepticus, phenobarbital sodium may be injected intramuscular or intravenous, but response is very slower to develop. So next is the primidone. So it is a deoxybarbiturate derivative converted by the liver to phenobarbital. So when administered as a primidone, it will be converted by the liver into phenobarbital and phenyl ethyl malonamide. It is called as PEMA. So its anti-epileptic activity is mainly due to these active metabolites, because of T half of primidone is less than that of the active metabolite. So about 1/3 of the primidone is excreted unchanged by the kidney. So dose to dose primidone is very less potent, but anti-epileptic efficacy is similar to that of phenobarbital only. It is infrequently used nowadays in GTCs, that is generalized tonic-clonic seizures and partial epilepsy. So mainly as an adjuvant to phenytoin or carbamazepine, that is additional drug. So adverse effects are similar to phenobarbital. In addition, it may produce anemia, leukopenia, psychotic reactions and lymph node enlargement, which occurs very rarely. So next is the phenytoin. So it is the most important drug in case of epilepsy. So phenytoin is not a CNS depressant. So some sedation occurs at the therapeutic dose, but this does not increases further with the dose. So rather toxic doses produce excitement and muscular rigidity. The most outstanding action is abolition of tonic phase of maximal electroshock seizures with no effect on the or prolonged clonic phase. So it limits the spread of the seizure activity, Threshold for pentylene tetrazole PTZ conversion is not raised. Next is the tonic-clonic epilepsy is suppressed by paroxysmal focal EEG discharge or ARA is persistent. So mechanism of action. So phenytoin has a stabilizing influence on neuronal membrane. It prevents the repetitive detonation of normal brain cells during depolarization shift that occurs in the epileptic patients and consists of a synchronous and usually a large depolarization over which action potentials are superimposed. This is achieved by prolonging the inactivated state of voltage sensitive neuronal sodium channel which governs the refraction period of the neuron. As a result, high frequency discharges are inhibited with little effects on normal low frequency discharges which allow sodium channels to recover even when their inactivation is prolonged. So this effect has been noted at the therapeutic concentration of the phenytoin, while the other effects like reduction in calcium influx, inhibition in glutamate and facilitation of GABA responses have been demonstrated at the higher or toxic concentrations. So intracellular accumulation of sodium that occurs during repetitive firing will be prevented. The therapeutic concentrations have no effect on resting membrane potential. Normal synaptic transmission is not impaired. So phenytoin, in contrast to phenylbarbital and valproate, does not interfere with kindling. So its ability to selectively inhibit high frequency firing confers efficacy in trigeminal neuralgia. So it is a nerve pain. Okay, trigeminal nerve pain, neuralgia, and cardiac arrhythmias as well. Okay. So this is the simple diagram which shows a different mechanism of the drugs. Okay. So normally in action potential we have learned, so only after the entry of sodium, so the nerve cells will start to excite. So whatever the cells will start to excite. Okay. So here prolongation of the sodium channel inactivation. Now the sodium channel will be inactivated. So what will happen? So sodium cannot be enter inside the cell. So that the cell will be in a resting stage, so that the higher frequency and repetitive neuronal excitement will be prevented. Okay. So here you can have whatever the drugs which is having prolongation of the action of the sodium inactivation is phenytoin, carbamazepine, valproate, lamotrigine, topiramate, zonisamide and lacosamide. So next is the facilitation of GABA mediated chloride channel opening. So GABA is an inhibiting neurotransmitter. So here it will inhibit your nerve excitation. Okay, so what all the drugs means? You can have barbiturate, benzodiazepine, vigabatrin, valproate, gabapentin and tiagabine. Okay, so next is the inhibition of T type of calcium channels or calcium current. So calcium once entering inside the cell, it will produce contraction. Okay, so contraction means, so next cells the contraction will be prolongated, so it will produce excitation. So here also this type of channels will be inhibited. So what are the drugs which will produce inhibition of calcium current means ethosuximide, valproate and zonisamide. Okay, so this is the main three mechanism of action. So this is the single line mechanism, so where you can understand this mechanism very easily. Okay, so hope for studying this essay type you just better use this mechanism. So within a one word you can explain the mechanism. Okay, so next is the adverse effect of phenytoin. So after prolonged use, numerous side effects are produced at therapeutic plasma concentration. So others occurs as a manifestations toxicity due to overdosage. So at therapeutic level you can observe certain adverse effects. So what all they means? Gum hypertrophy. So hypertrophy means increase in the size. So commonest 20% of incidence will be there in more younger patients. So it is due to overgrowth of gingival collagen fibers, that is the gum region, tooth region, there will be hypertrophy. So the collagen fibers will be increased. So this can be minimized by maintaining the oral hygiene. So hirsutism, so it is the growth of minute hairs on your skin, it is called as hirsuts. So coarsening of the facial features. Okay, so face, the texture of the face will be changed, so acne will be there. So hypersensitivity reactions will be there like rashes, lymphadenopathy. Neutropenia is rare but it requires discontinuation of the therapy. If neutropenia is there, you have to discontinue the therapy. Next is the megaloblastic anemia. So phenytoin decreases the folate absorption and increases its excretion. Osteomalacia. So phenytoin interferes with the metabolic activation of vitamin D with calcium absorption and metabolism. So it can inhibit insulin release and cause hyperglycemia too. So if it is used in pregnancy, phenytoin can produce fetal hydantoin syndrome. Okay, so what are all those means? Hypoplastic phalanges. Okay, so the phalanges will be not grown, it will be like a, what you can say, like a plastic, like the deformities of the phalanges, that is fingers will be there. Cleft palate. Okay, so in the upper jaw there will, the palate bones will not be fused properly, it is called as cleft palate. Hair lip, so you will be having rabbit like upper lips, and there will be microcephaly. Okay, so which probably cause by its anorexia metabolite, so there will be brain deformity will be there. Okay, cephalus means brain, so there will be microcephaly at higher concentrations. So it is a toxic condition. So what it will do means cerebellar and vestibular manifestations, so that the patients cannot there will be improper vestibule. So vestibule is the apparatus which present in your ear, so which is used mainly for balance of your posture. Okay, and cerebellum, it is the region of your posture, okay, which maintains your posture. So here it will produce ataxia, that is absence of movements. Vertigo, that is rolling of your head. Diplopia, twice, what you can see everything as a two vision. So nystagmus, ringing of the ears, and there are more characteristic features. So there will be drowsiness, behavioral alterations, mental confusions, hallucinations, disorientation, and rigidity will be there. Epigastric pain, that is stomach pain, nausea and vomiting will be there. So this can be minimized by taking the drug with meals. So IV injection can cause local vascular injury, so initial damage and thrombosis of the vein. Okay, so it will lead to edema and discoloration of the injected limb. So rate of injection should not exceed 50 mg per minute. So tissue necrosis occurs if the solution is extravasate. So if it come out of their artery or vein, so it will produce tissue necrosis. So fall in blood pressure and cardiac arrhythmias occurs only in IV injection, which therefore should be given under continuous ECG monitoring. So with this, phenytoin is over, which is the most important drug, and this diagram which gives you or depicts you the mechanism of action of all the drugs. So if you study this, you can easily write this epileptic mechanism. Okay, so this is the most important, you just try to memorize along with the diagram. Okay, so remaining we can see in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.